Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my landscape journey. In today's video, I'm gonna show you the basics of animation in 3ds Max. In this tutorial, you will learn how to do an animation from scratch. You will learn how this concept works and how this is actually applied to animations in the ArcBees industry. That said, let's get started. The first thing that we are going to do is we're going to create our scene where I'm gonna show you how you can do your animations. So we are going to do a plane that it's going to be our working area. This plane is going to be 10 meters by 10 meters. And I'm going to change the color of this plane to be a gray color. Now I'm going to create the object that we are going to animate in this exercise. So we're going to animate a box. I'm going to create a box right here. And this box is going to be 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. And I'm going to increase the segments. For showing the segments here, you need to press F3 to activate the shader and then F4 to see the edges. So this box is going to have 3 edges by 3 edges by 3 edges. The plane that we created before, we don't need any subdivision, so I'm gonna reduce this to 0. And now I'm going to deactivate this grid from the scene by pressing G on the keyboard. Okay, so this is the object that we are going to work with. I'm gonna move it a little bit to the corner. So first, I'm gonna explain a few basic concepts. This is your timeline, this is like your time. And currently on this timeline we have 100 photograms, which means that each time you click here it's a different frame. In real time, on live, there are several ways that the industry works. For example, you can have 60 photographs per second, or you can have 24 photograms per second, or you can have 30 photograms per second. If you have a smartphone, probably you have seen this in your camera settings, and what this means is that you are recording 60 images in 1 second, or 30 images in 1 second, or 24 images in 1 second. So for this exercise, we are going to work on 30 photograms per second, and for doing that, we're gonna click here, which is the time configuration, and we are going to set up. So we're gonna work with 30 photograms per second, and our animation, if we want our animation to be 10 seconds, that means that we need 300 frames. So the length of this is gonna be 300, and then I'm gonna press OK. As you can see, our timeline has changed. Now we have 300 photograms. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna create a save frame with AutoKey, which basically it's telling the software that I want to save this frame as it is, and for doing that, I'm gonna click on my object and I'm gonna set keys. So that has created this key photogram, and I'm gonna move up to 300, and then I'm gonna move this square up to here, and then I'm gonna turn off AutoKey and I'm gonna press play. And what is happening right now is that this object is taking 10 seconds to arrive to the last photogram. This is a very basic exercise, and now we're gonna add a little bit of more detail. So for example, we can say that just when the object is halfway on photogram 150, we're gonna press AutoKey again and we are gonna move it to the other side of our plane. So now, before the object arrives to that corner, it's gonna pass through this corner. Let's put play, and it's gonna take 5 seconds because we are working on 30 photograms per second to arrive here, and another 5 seconds to arrive to that place. Now, to recap this, I'm gonna add another keyframe. So I'm gonna press again AutoKey, and when this box is just in between 150 and 0 photograms, let's say 75, I want the box to go to the other corner. And then I'm gonna move the box to here, And before the box arrives to the final destination, just in the middle somewhere, probably somewhere here, I want the box to be there. And now I'm gonna switch off auto key. Let's see what the box is doing. So it's going to its first destination on the first quarter, then it's coming to this point on the middle point, and then it's going to that midpoint and then arriving to the final destination. Okay, now we can add more things. For example, we can create like a jump here. So I'm gonna move the camera a little bit, and I want the box, before moves from that corner to that corner, to have like a jump here in the middle. So I'm gonna press Alt key here, and then I'm gonna move the box up somewhere like that, and then I'm gonna unpress Auto key. So see what is happening. Now the box is, I'm gonna go back to the same camera and see how the box is kind of jumping. Ooh, and then comes down and it goes to the other corner, and it goes to its final destination. Now, animation also works with modifiers. So, for example, let's make this a little bit more fun, and let's stretch the box when the box is coming to this point. So when the box is right here, I'm gonna press Auto key again. I want the box, before it starts jumping, to compact a little bit. And then when it arrives here, I want it to stretch. And then when it lands, I want it to stretch back. Now let's see what this does. Let's turn off Auto key and press play again. So here's the box getting the floor, and then it jumps, and then it comes here. That's cool. And then it goes to the final destination. Now, before it arrives to the final destination, I'm gonna add another animation settings. So let's pretend that the box is coming quite fast, and just before coming right here, I'm gonna press a key, so I want the box to retain that same orientation, that same scale, and then just when the box is arriving, I'm gonna rotate it like that a little bit. And then when it comes till the end, I'm gonna rotate it back. So let's see what that does. Press play. See that? Now, what happens if we want to create a camera that is following the object? Let's go to cameras, and let's create a free cam. Let's go to top view. Let's press F3 to see the shader, and let's create a camera right here. Okay, now let's rotate the camera. The shortcut is E, or you can press here. And I want the camera to be rotated 90 degrees. For doing that, I'm gonna press on the snap toggle tool, which is gonna allow me to move in fives, so I can get a precise 90-degree rotation. And now I'm gonna press F to go to front view, and then I'm gonna press W to move. I'm gonna move the camera a little bit up, and then I'm gonna press C to go to the camera view. So this is the current camera view. I'm going to escape from this view. Here I'm going to select top view, and I'm gonna move the camera probably here. Yes, maybe a little bit more. And I want to see how it looks from this angle. So we cannot cover that bit. So I'm gonna change the focal length of the camera to be 20 millimeters. We can cover all the plane there. And probably I'm gonna move it a little bit more up. Yes, I'm happy like that. Maybe a little bit further back. Yeah, let's press play again and see from that camera. There we go. So I want the camera to have a journey at the same time as the box. So for doing that, I'm gonna press Auto key. It's the same process, and I want to set a frame right there as it is. I like that current view. And now I'm gonna go to frame 300, and by the time the box reaches its final destination, I want the camera to rotate 45 degrees and to be moved to this position. Let's press off Auto key and let's see what happens. So the same time that the box is taking to arrive to the final destination is the same time that the camera is taking to arrive to that angle. I'm gonna maximize this view and let's see what is happening. Nice. Now let's say that you want to render this and you want to export this into real video. For doing that, you will go to render settings and then you will choose that we want a range from 0 to the photogram 300. First, let's make a render test to see how it's looking. So currently it's looking like that. Probably we can add a light to have a better visual. This is just very simple, but we can add an Arnold light. Let's go to front view and let's add just a spotlight like this. Then let's go to top view. Let's go to camera view and let's see what this is making. So we have a little bit more of interesting shadows there, and probably we can increase the intensity of this light. So we can go to intensity and we can type probably 5. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So now we're gonna go to render settings again, and I want to render these 300 frames. So for doing that, I'm gonna click on range, and I want from 0 to the frame 300. Because I don't want this to take too long, I just want to make a simple HD video. And now I'm going to say that I want to save the file. I'm gonna save it on my desktop, and this is gonna be called animation tutorial. And then for format, we can click on PNG and then we can merge all the photograms. And now this is going to render 300 frames. So it's going on frame number 1, and then it's gonna go to frame number 2, 50%. And basically it's gonna do that process 300 times. So this is the time where I have to stop the video, and then we will come back to it later. My machine is still rendering. Here you can see how the frames are landing. Currently we are on frame 129 now, so it's still a long way to go. This will depend on which kind of CPU you have, which kind of GPU you have, and the render settings that you're using. All of our frames have been rendered, so now it's time to merge them. For doing this, we're going to use Photoshop. We're going to go to Photoshop, we're going to click on File, then we're going to click on Open, and we're going to select the first frame. It's very important that we click this box here, Image Sequence, and then we're going to press Open. We said this is 30 photograms per second, so we're going to press OK. And now it's going to load all the frames into a timeline. If we press play here, we will be able to see it. I want to create an interesting background, so for doing that, I'm going to create a new layer that is outside the video. I'm going to delete that one. And on this layer, I'm going to select everything. And I'm going to click Generate Fill to use AI. I'm going to let's create a forest. Click Enter. And let's see what Photoshop does. Remember that we are on 2025 and now we have AI to help us all the time. This is just an experiment. So we have that forest, that one, let's use that one. Now let's move this layer under the animation right there. Then this one, let's delete it. Now let's extend it up to here. So if we press play, that is going to happen on the background, which is something cool. Let's export this. I'm going to go to File, Export, and I'm going to click on Render Video. This is going to be saved here on Frames. I want to click Create a new folder, Video. Right there, it's going to be high quality on HD, and just press it render. So what Photoshop is doing at the moment, it's just exporting the video and it's merging it into a sequence. Let's wait a little bit until it finishes. That's it. Now we're going to go to the same folder and we are going to test it. So this is the final result. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this. This was just a very basic tutorial on how you can start making your own animations. I hope you have learned something new here. If you like it, please subscribe, give us some comments, and I see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.